There are moments, quiet and hidden, when the world around us feels strangely hollow, when even in the presence of others, our hearts whisper with an ache we can't quite name. When the night settles softly over our shoulders and we find ourselves longing for a companionship deeper than words, warmer than touch, steadier than any human presence could ever offer. And in that gentle ache, the Lord leans close, inviting us to remember the truth that has followed humanity since the first breath in Eden, that we were never meant to carry loneliness alone, that we were shaped for communion, not only with each other, but with the one who fills the empty places with a love that does not dim, does not drift, does not forget us in the quiet hours. And tonight, as you rest, we return to one of Scripture's most tender scenes, a story where God Himself steps into a lonely place, not to remove the solitude, but to transform it, reminding us that the cure for loneliness is not merely company, but presence, not just another voice in the room, but the steady heartbeat of the one who calls you His. It happened on a desert road, far from crowds, far from noise, far from anything that could resemble comfort, a place where silence stretches wide and the horizon feels like an unanswered question. And into that space walked a man named Philip, guided by the Spirit into what likely felt like an empty assignment. No audience, no plan, no reason except a whisper from God saying, "Go, simply go." And Philip obeyed with that quiet trust that blooms in hearts who have learned that God never wastes a journey, even those that lead through lonely paths. And on that desert road was another man, an Ethiopian eunuch, riding in his chariot beneath the warm winds of the wilderness, a man carrying status, responsibility, and learning, yet still marked by a deep and personal isolation, an isolation that was cultural, emotional, and spiritual all at once. A man who had just come from worshiping in Jerusalem, yet still felt the ache of being set apart, being different, being uninvited into the deeper parts of community. And God saw them both, one walking in obedience, one searching for belonging, and He brought their lonely paths together in a moment that would echo across time with the gentle reminder that the cure for loneliness is not accident, but divine orchestration, not coincidence, but compassion. Philip approached the chariot softly, drawn by the sound of Scripture being read aloud, words from Isaiah, ancient and tender, full of prophecy and sorrow and hope. And Philip asked a question so simple yet so deeply human. "Do you understand what you are reading?" And the man answered with the honesty of a weary soul, "How can I, unless someone explains it to me?" In that single reply, the heart of loneliness was revealed, not just the desire for information, but for connection, not only for knowledge, but for someone to draw near and sit in the chariot of his life, someone willing to share the journey, even for a short time. Tonight, as your heart settles beneath the quiet of the evening, let this story wrap gently around you. Let it remind you that the God who sees lonely travelers on desert roads also sees you. He knows the moments when your soul aches for connection, the moments when the world feels too wide and your place in it feels too small, the moments when you long for someone who understands, someone who stays, someone who listens. And He leans near with the steady truth that He has always been the companion of the lonely, the God who sets the solitary in families, the shepherd who leaves the 99 to walk beside one wandering sheep, the Savior who sits with the broken-hearted and whispers comfort in the language only the soul can hear. Your loneliness does not disqualify you. It invites Him closer. Your emptiness does not shame Him. It draws His compassion. Your tears are not overlooked. They are gathered gently in his hands, held like something precious, something known. And as you breathe slowly tonight, allow the presence of God to soothe the spaces where loneliness has made a home. Let him whisper your name the way he whispered to Philip, the way he whispered to Elijah, the way he has whispered to countless hearts across generations, reminding each one that they are not alone, not forgotten, not unseen. As you rest a little deeper, imagine the soft hush of that desert evening, the way the sun would have lowered itself toward the horizon, casting warm gold across the sand, the way the wind might have brushed gently against the chariot wheels as they slowed near the water, the way God's presence lingered long after Philip vanished from sight. And picture the eunuch standing there, water still clinging to his robes, heart newly awakened, soul newly held. And even though he was physically alone again, the echo of God's companionship remained like a melody still humming in the air, a reminder that divine nearness does not disappear when people do, that God's love does not walk away, does not fade with distance, does not dim when earthly company shifts like shadows in the evening light. And perhaps, as he stepped back onto the road, he felt something he had not known in a long time, a belonging that traveled with him, a nearness that was not dependent on proximity or place, a companionship that reached deeper than any human circle could offer. This is the quiet miracle of God's presence. It turns solitude into sanctuary. It turns silence into prayer. It turns empty roads into places where heaven walks beside us. And the same presence moves toward you now, soft, unwavering, patient, like a gentle hand resting over the heart, like the warmth of a lantern glowing inside the soul. Maybe your loneliness has lingered for years, threading itself into moments you hoped would feel full. Maybe it rises unexpectedly in rooms where laughter echoes but never quite reaches you. Maybe it settles at night when everything grows quiet and the ache becomes clearer. But the Lord meets you there, not with condemnation, not with impatience, but with a love that sits beside you, a love that doesn't need you to be cheerful or strong or put together, a love that understands the unspoken spaces and the ache behind the ache. For he himself felt loneliness, the Son of God who entered our humanity, who knew abandonment, who prayed alone in the garden while his friends slept, who cried out on the cross when the world grew dark around him. He is not distant from your pain. He is not unfamiliar with your longing. He is the one who walks the lonely roads because he knows you will walk some of them too, and he refuses to let you walk them without him. So tonight, let your heart ease into his presence. Feel the gentle nearness of a God who does not rush you, who does not grow weary of your feelings, who does not turn away when your soul is tender and tired. Let him breathe comfort into the hollow places. Let him fill the empty spaces with the quiet assurance that he is here. He has been here. He will always be here. Your loneliness is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of your design. You were created for connection, for communion, for the companionship of the one who shaped your soul with his own hands. And because of that, he draws near whenever you feel alone, not later, not eventually, but now, in this breath, in this quiet, in this moment. And like the eunuch on the desert road, you do not have to understand everything for God to meet you. You do not have to know the path ahead, or see where the road leads, or feel brave enough for tomorrow. All you need is the openness of a heart willing to let him in. To whisper, "Yes, Lord, stay with me." To whisper, "I need you here." To whisper, "I don't want to walk this alone anymore." And he answers with the same tenderness he has shown since the beginning. "I am with you always, to the end of the age." Now let that truth settle gently in your spirit, like a soft blanket drawn up over a weary heart. Like a lullaby, the Lord sings over his children. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you will not be alone in the days to come. For the God who found a lonely traveler on a desert road is the same God who sits beside you now, guarding your rest, guiding your breath, surrounding your soul with a love that will not let go. Let his presence cradle you as sleep drifts near. Let his peace settle like dew upon your thoughts. Let his companionship wrap around you like a gentle night sky. And as you breathe slowly in the quiet, may your heart feel held. May your spirit feel known. May your loneliness dissolve into the comfort of the one who walks every road with you. The cure for loneliness is not found in the presence of many, but in the presence of one. The one who sees you, the one who loves you, the one who stays, always. Sleep now in his peace, wrapped in his nearness, resting in his endless love. And as the night settles a little deeper around you, let your heart drift gently into the safety of God's closeness. Feel how softly he gathers the loose, wandering corners of your thoughts and brings them into a quiet stillness. How he watches over you the way a shepherd watches the hillside as dusk falls, making sure none of his sheep are left trembling in the shadows. For even now, in this tender moment, he is drawing near, not with noise or pressure, but with a presence so gentle it feels like the calmest breath of wind, the kind that brushes the soul and reminds it that it is not forgotten, not abandoned, not unseen in the dimness of evening. He comes close with a love that moves slower than fear, quieter than loneliness, deeper than sorrow, a love that sits down beside you and whispers that you were never meant to carry the ache of solitude on your own, that he has always intended to be the one who fills the spaces no human voice can reach, the one who understands the longings no conversation can ease, the one who keeps company with you even when no one else is near. Perhaps you've carried questions in your heart, questions about why loneliness lingers even when life appears full on the outside, questions about why certain relationships feel distant, why certain dreams feel delayed, why certain seasons stretch longer than you hoped they would. And God does not rush to silence your questions. He gently holds them. He lets you speak them. He listens with the patience of eternity, because he knows that loneliness is not always about the absence of people. Sometimes it is the search for a place where your soul feels understood, where your heart feels safe, where your presence feels wanted. And he whispers that such a place exists in him, not as an escape from the world, but as an anchor within it, a place where you can rest without pretending, a place where you can breathe without fear, a place where you know, deeply and quietly, that you belong. And in the stillness of this night, imagine God drawing a little closer. Imagine his voice, soft and steady, speaking into the hidden corners of your heart. I am here. I have always been here, even in the days when you felt unseen, even in the moments when you felt forgotten, even in the seasons when you wondered if anyone noticed your tears. I noticed. I carried you. I sat beside you when the room felt empty. I held you when your spirit felt tired. I stayed when others drifted away. You have never walked alone. Let these words settle over you like warm light, filling the spaces where loneliness once echoed, soothing the wounds, the disappointments, the quiet ache that only God truly understands. For the one who walked with Philip on a lonely road, the one who stood beside the Ethiopian man as he stepped into the water, the one who filled that desert with heavenly companionship, that same God surrounds you now. He walks the halls of your thoughts. He stands guard over your rest. He wraps you in a peace that does not depend on circumstances or people or noise or company. His presence is your refuge, your companionship, your cure. And as your breathing softens, feel the weight of His nearness like a calming hand over your heart. Feel Him gathering every restless thought, every unsaid prayer, every fragile hope, and holding them with a tenderness the world cannot offer. Let your loneliness melt slowly into His comfort. Let every fear loosen its grip. Let every worry fade into the softness of His love. You are safe. You are held. You are known by the One who walks with you in every season, who stands with you in every quiet moment, who whispers to you through the stillness of the night that you are His, and He delights to be near you. Rest now, gently, peacefully, wrapped in the everlasting companionship of God, the cure for loneliness your soul has always longed for, the One who stays when all else fades, who comforts when words fall short, who loves with a depth that never changes. May His presence cradle your spirit, may His peace fill every corner of your thoughts, and may you drift into sleep knowing you are not alone, not tonight, not ever. For the God who loves you walks beside you even now, keeping watch, keeping close, keeping you in His perfect, tender care. And as the night grows quieter still, let your soul lean gently into this sacred calm. Feel the world softening around you, every sound turning distant, every thought slowing its pace, like a river easing into peaceful waters. For this is the space where God loves to speak the most. Not in the clamor of daylight, not in the noise of crowds, but here, in the tender hush where your heart finally has room to breathe. And in this gentle silence, He draws near again, the God who never rushes, never forces, never interrupts. He simply comes close, with a nearness that feels like warmth spreading through the deepest parts of you. A nearness that reminds you that you are not wandering through this night alone. He is the God who stepped into lonely deserts and quiet mountains, into empty streets and aching hearts. The God who sought out those who felt unseen, those who felt forgotten, those who felt too small for His attention. And He whispered their names with the kind of tenderness that heals, the kind of tenderness that lingers, the kind that wraps itself around a weary spirit and makes it feel safe again. Maybe you have carried a loneliness you never fully spoke aloud, a loneliness woven into days that looked ordinary to others, a loneliness you tried to fill with busyness or noise, or the company of people who never quite reached the center of your heart. Or maybe your loneliness is newer, a recent ache born from change or distance or loss, an emptiness that surprised you, settling into your chest when life shifted in ways you didn't expect. And the Lord sees that loneliness. He does not dismiss it, does not scold you for it, does not tell you it is unspiritual or unnecessary. Instead, He draws closer still, the way a loving father sits beside a child who feels small and overwhelmed, the way a shepherd gathers a trembling lamb into his arms. Your loneliness does not scare Him, it summons Him. It calls Him near, the way the cry of His people has always drawn His heart toward them. And if you listen gently, you may feel His presence now, quiet as breath, steady as heartbeat. He speaks not in thunder, but in the calm that settles over you, not in force, but in the peace that begins to bloom inside your chest. Beloved, I am with you. The words move like soft light, brushing away the shadows that linger in the corners of your thoughts. I am with you when you wake. I am with you when you walk. I am with you when sorrow rises. I am with you when laughter fades. I am with you when the world feels far too large and you feel far too small. You are not walking this path alone. You never have. Let these promises wrap around you like a gentle embrace. Feel them sinking into the places where loneliness once held space. For God does not simply visit your life. He indwells it. He surrounds it. He fills it. The cure for loneliness is not found in louder rooms or fuller schedules. It is found in allowing yourself to be known by the one who fashioned your soul, the one who delights to stay near. And when you rest in him, when you let your heart lean into his presence, your solitude becomes holy, your quiet becomes peaceful, your night becomes sheltered under his wings. So now, as your breaths grow slower and your eyelids soften, let the Lord's companionship steady you. Let him gather the unspoken worries you carried into this night. Let him take the heaviness you tried to push aside. Let him whisper comfort into every fragile place. You are not alone, not in the quiet, not in the darkness, not in the places you don't tell anyone about. The God who filled a desert road with divine companionship is filling this room with his presence even now, surrounding you, embracing you, holding you in a love that will not let you go. Rest deeply in him, breathe softly in his nearness, and drift towards sleep, knowing that the one who made your heart is watching over it still, gently, faithfully, endlessly. And as you sink even deeper into this tender quiet, let your spirit feel the gentle way God continues to hold you, like the softest light resting over still water, like a warm embrace settling across your shoulders, calming every place inside you that once felt restless or alone. For loneliness often whispers that no one notices, no one stays, no one truly understands. But God answers those whispers with a presence so steady, so patient, so deeply rooted in love, that it begins to unwind the ache thread by thread. He sits with you the way only a perfect father can, without rushing your heart, without demanding anything from you, without asking you to pretend you're stronger than you are. He simply stays. And sometimes, staying is the greatest healing of all. Imagine now the quiet landscape of your own life, the familiar corners of your days, the spaces you move through, the paths you walk. And imagine Jesus walking those paths beside you, not with loud footsteps or dramatic signs, but with the gentle nearness of someone who has loved you long before you ever knew his name. He walks with you into the kitchen in the early morning when the world still feels half asleep. He sits beside you when you pause from your daily tasks, when your thoughts grow heavy and you're not sure why. He accompanies you in silent rooms, in busy hallways, in places where you smile outwardly but ache inwardly. He does not come and go. He remains. And every moment of his presence whispers the same truth over and over. You are loved. You are seen. You belong. Loneliness loses its power when love becomes near. And God's love is not merely near. It surrounds. It carries. It fills the spaces you thought would always echo. This is why Scripture says he is close to the brokenhearted, not just aware of them, not just sympathetic toward them, but close. Close enough to feel your quiet tears, close enough to hold your trembling thoughts, close enough to breathe peace into your spirit until your heart begins to unclench and soften again. And maybe tonight there are wounds within you that few people know about. Maybe there are memories that built walls around your heart, fears that made you withdraw, disappointments that left you feeling quietly disconnected. God sees each one. He traces them with compassion, not judgment. He heals them with tenderness, not pressure. He whispers through them with a voice that is gentle enough to comfort and strong enough to transform. For he is not only the God who finds the lonely, he is the God who restores them, the God who makes solitude sacred rather than sorrowful, the God who keeps you company even in the places you thought you would have to face alone. Let his nearness settle deeper now, right into the core of you. Feel how the weight in your chest begins to ease, how your heartbeat slows into a peaceful rhythm, how the light of his presence makes the darkness feel softer, kinder, safer. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are held by a love that does not sleep, does not withdraw, does not change its mind about you. And even now, as your body relaxes and your thoughts drift like gentle clouds, God is watching over you with endless affection. He delights to keep you close. He rejoices to calm your spirit. He is the cure for every quiet ache, every hidden loneliness, every silent longing for connection. So rest now. Let this peace wash over your mind like a slow, soothing tide. Let God's presence cradle your dreams, steady your breath, and soften every remaining trace of worry. For you are not alone tonight, and you will not be alone tomorrow. The one who loves you, the one who walks beside you, the one who stays with you through every shadow and every sunrise. He holds you now with a love that will never let you go. And as you drift further into this peaceful night, let your heart feel the deep assurance that God is still here, still near, still watching over every breath you take, the way a guardian keeps gentle watch over something precious, something beloved, something worth protecting and cherishing. For in His eyes, that is what you are: precious, beloved, cherished beyond words. And no amount of loneliness can erase the truth of how completely you are held by Him. Sometimes the world moves too quickly to notice the quiet hurts. Sometimes people, even well-meaning ones, overlook the soft cracks in a heart. But God misses nothing. He sees what others do not see. He understands what you cannot find words for. And in this stillness, He draws even nearer, as though the very quiet is a doorway He walks through, entering the deepest parts of your soul with a love that asks for nothing except your willingness to let Him be close. Feel the gentle way He sits with you now. Not fixing, not expecting, simply being. For sometimes the cure for loneliness is not a sudden change, not a new crowd, not even a new season. Sometimes the cure is presence. The kind of presence that doesn't leave when the night grows long, the kind that understands silence, the kind that holds your heart without demanding it to be anything other than honest. This is the presence of God, steady, warm, patient. He is the one who keeps His hand on your shoulder even when you feel unseen by the world. Wiki. The one who whispers, "I am here," in moments when no one else notices the tremble in your breath. The one who fills the space around you with a peace so soft it feels almost like being wrapped in a blanket of divine comfort. And in this tender calm, imagine the way Jesus looked at the people who felt alone in Scripture. The woman at the well, drawing water in the heat of the day because shame drove her from the crowds. And He sat with her, speaking to her gently, restoring her dignity word by word. The leper who stood far off because no one dared to come near. Yet Jesus touched him before He healed him, offering connection even before offering restoration. The tax collector hiding behind wealth and walls, and Jesus simply said, "I'm coming to your house today," breaking through isolation with companionship. The woman with the issue of blood, moving quietly through the crowd, unnoticed by all but Him, and He called her daughter, giving her identity where loneliness had taken it. Every lonely soul became seen in His presence. Every outcast became embraced,
every forgotten person became remembered. And tonight you are receiving that same gaze, that same nearness, that same healing companionship. Let your heart absorb this truth slowly, gently, without pressure. God is not merely aware of your loneliness, He is meeting you in it. He is not distant from your ache. He is inside it with you. He is not waiting for you to feel stronger or happier. He is holding you exactly where you are. Your loneliness is not a sign of God's absence. It is often the very place where His presence becomes the most real, the most tangible, the most tender. And now, as your breathing softens even more, allow your soul to settle under the weight of His love. Feel how the tension loosens from your thoughts. Feel how the quiet becomes comforting instead of heavy. Feel how the night begins to glow with a gentle warmth, as though God Himself has filled the darkness with His peaceful light. For He always does, for the ones He loves. And He loves you with a depth wider than oceans, higher than skies, stronger than loneliness, softer than sorrow. His love is the companion your heart has longed for. His presence is the place where your soul can finally rest. So let yourself drift, slowly and sweetly, into the calm He offers. Let His nearness be the blanket around your spirit. Let His peace be the pillow beneath your thoughts. Let His love be the soft lullaby that carries you towards sleep. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you will not be alone in the days to come. For the God who watches over you now will watch over you still, even as you dream, even as you rest, even as dawn waits quietly beyond the horizon. Sleep in His embrace. Rest in His presence. Breathe in His love. You are His, and He is here, always.
And as you slip even deeper into this gentle night, let your soul feel the way God continues to draw you close, not with urgency, not with demands, but with the quiet patience of one who has all the time in the world just to be near you. Feel how His presence settles like soft evening light, resting gently over every part of you that once felt empty or forgotten. Every corner of your heart that longed for companionship, every quiet place inside you that wondered if anyone truly understood. He understands, more fully than words could ever express. For He is the one who shaped your heart, who knows its rhythms, who reads its unspoken prayers, who hears the sighs you never say aloud. And He stays with a tenderness that melts the edges of loneliness, turning them into places where peace can finally bloom. Maybe tonight you feel your mind drifting between thoughts, memories rising and falling like waves, some soft, some aching. And yet through them all, God walks gently beside you. He knows which thoughts have been heavy. He knows which hopes you've been carrying quietly. He knows the moments when you felt disconnected, even in rooms filled with people. And He whispers into that ache with the sweetest reassurance, I am with you. I am here. You are not alone in this. His words are not distant. They rest close to your spirit, comforting you in the most delicate way, like peace woven through every breath, like love soaking slowly into the places that once felt unseen. Imagine for a moment Jesus sitting beside you now, not in a grand or overwhelming way, but with the same gentle humility that led Him to sit with the lonely, the overlooked, the weary, all throughout Scripture. Imagine Him turning toward you, His eyes filled with compassion, the kind of compassion that sees everything and still chooses to stay. No part of your life is too small for His care, no loneliness too quiet for His notice, no tear too hidden for His heart. He holds your story with tenderness. He holds your nights with mercy. He holds your heart with a love that does not falter or fade. And in His presence, Every lonely place becomes a place of healing. Every silent ache becomes a doorway for his comfort. Every quiet breath becomes a prayer he cherishes. Feel now the deep calm he brings, like a blanket spreading softly over your spirit, like warmth settling gently into tired places, like a slow and steady peace rising within you, grounding you in his love. For the cure for loneliness is not found in the noise of the world, not in crowds, not in constant movement, not in chasing distraction. It is found in the quiet nearness of the one who has always been with you, the one who meets you in silence and fills it with his presence, the one who walks beside you when the road feels empty, the one who holds you when the night feels long, the one who whispers peace into your very being until loneliness loosens its hold. And as your body continues to relax, sinking into stillness, feel the way God surrounds you like the softest shelter. There is no pressure here, no expectation, no need to perform or pretend, only rest, only peace, only love. For you are safe in his presence, safe to breathe, safe to release what has weighed you down, safe to simply be his. He delights in your nearness. He rejoices in keeping you company. He stands guard over your rest with a love that never sleeps. Let this truth settle deeper and deeper. You do not face the night alone. You do not walk through life unseen. You belong to a God who loves you more deeply than you will ever comprehend. A God who stays closer than your own breath. A God who holds you through every quiet hour. So let yourself drift now, gently, softly, peacefully. Let your thoughts grow lighter. Let your spirit grow calmer. Let your heart rest in the certainty that you are not alone tonight, not now, not ever. For the God who loves you is here, keeping watch, keeping close, keeping you in the tender circle of his everlasting companionship. Rest in him, breathe in him, sleep in the comfort of his unfailing, unending love. Ethan.
And as you drift even deeper into this cradle of night, let your heart sense how gently God continues to surround you, like soft arms drawing you close, like a warm presence filling the room, like a quiet love settling over every part of you that once trembled with loneliness. Feel how his nearness wraps around your thoughts, easing every worry, softening every edge, whispering peace into the quiet spaces of your soul. For he is not a distant God watching from far away. He is the God who steps into your silence, who fills your emptiness with his companionship, who stays with you long after the world has grown quiet and still. He is the one who sits with you through moments no one else notices, through feelings no one else sees, through tears no one else understands. You have never been alone, not for one heartbeat, not for one breath. Let yourself imagine now the gentle rhythm of his presence, steady, patient, warm, like the slow rise and fall of ocean waves beneath a calm moon. Every breath you take is held by him. Every thought that drifts through your mind is seen by him. Every ache, every longing, every small whisper of your heart is heard by him with a love that never grows tired. For he is the God who comforts the lonely, who shelters the weary, who draws near to the ones who need his nearness the most. And tonight, he is drawing near to you with a closeness that feels like peace flowing softly into your chest, soothing, calming, restoring. Perhaps there have been nights when you felt the weight of silence pressing in, nights when you wondered if anyone truly cared, if anyone noticed the quiet heaviness in your spirit. But God noticed. He was there in those unspoken moments, sitting beside you even when you didn't feel him, holding the tender pieces of your heart with a compassion deeper than words. And now, in this gentle moment, he wants you to feel the truth of his nearness, a nearness that warms the cold spaces, a nearness that dries the quiet tears, a nearness that whispers, "I am here, and I am not leaving." Let that truth rest inside you like a soft glowing light, small at first, then spreading slowly, gently, until it fills every corner of your being. The cure for loneliness is not found in the world's noise, nor in the presence of many people, nor in endless attempts to feel distracted or busy. It is found in the quiet presence of divine love, a love that does not fail, a love that does not fade, a love that does not grow weary of you, a love that stays even in the deepest silence. If your heart has carried memories of being overlooked, if your soul remembers seasons where you felt invisible, know that God has seen it all, and He holds every memory with kindness. He rewrites the ache with His comfort. He heals the emptiness with His presence. He takes the loneliness and turns it into a place where you can meet Him more tenderly, more honestly, more deeply. For He is closest to the ones who feel most alone, and His closeness does not fade with time, does not waver with circumstances, does not disappear when feelings shift. He is steadfast, unchanging, faithful in a way no earthly companion can ever fully match. And as you rest now, feel the softness of this truth, like a blanket warming your spirit. You are not drifting alone into sleep. You are carried by the presence of the one who loves you more than life itself, the one who knows your name, your story, your dreams, your scars, the one who holds your past with mercy, your present with tenderness, your future with hope, the one who whispers over you now, "Rest, beloved. I am here." Let your breathing become slow and sweet. Let your thoughts grow lighter, softer, calmer. Let your spirit sink into the peace of being fully known and fully loved. You do not need to strive. You do not need to understand. You only need to rest in the companionship of the God who will never, ever let you go. Sleep now, wrapped in His presence. Sleep knowing you are safe. Sleep knowing you are cherished. Sleep knowing you are never alone. For the one who created you, the one who walks with you, the one who loves you beyond measure, He is here. And He will stay with you through the night, through every breath, through every moment, watching over you with a love that never ends.
And as the night wraps itself a little more tightly around you, let your soul feel the deep, quiet way God continues to hold you, as though His presence were a soft curtain of peace falling gently over your entire being, calming you, steadying you, comforting you in ways you may not even fully recognize yet. For His nearness is not loud. It does not announce itself with noise or urgency. It arrives like a warm glow in the darkness, slowly, silently, filling every empty place with love that asks nothing of you except to rest. Simply rest. And your heart, so often pulled in many directions, begins to settle, like snow falling softly on still ground, like a lake growing calm after a long day of wind. This is what His presence does. It quiets the storm inside. It hushes the echoes of loneliness. It brings a gentleness your soul has been longing for. Perhaps there have been seasons when loneliness felt woven into the rhythm of your life. Times when you walked through your days with a quiet ache tucked beneath your smile. Times when you reached out but still felt unseen, still felt distant, still felt somehow untouched by the closeness you desired. But God wants you to know that He has walked through every one of those moments with you. He was beside you on nights when no one asked how you were doing. He was near when you felt like your voice didn't matter. He was present when your heart felt hollow and your spirit felt tired. Every sigh, every tear, every longing you tucked away, he saw them, treasured them, and held them with perfect compassion. For loneliness is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of longing, and longing is holy when it draws you nearer to the one who loves you most. Imagine him now, sitting beside you with the same gentleness he showed to every lonely soul in Scripture, the same Jesus who noticed Zacchaeus hiding in a tree, the same Jesus who defended the woman caught in shame, the same Jesus who welcomed little children when others tried to push them aside, the same Jesus who restored Peter's heart with a simple question, "Do you love me?" and answered his failure with forgiveness instead of rejection. He is beside you with that same tenderness, that same readiness to comfort, that same unshakable desire to be close to you. He has not changed. His heart has not grown distant. His compassion has not faded with time. He is here now, whispering softly into the deepest place of your being. I am with you, beloved. I am with you in every breath, in every moment, in every quiet corner where you once felt alone. Let that promise sink deeper into your spirit. Feel it warm you slowly, like sunlight spreading across chilled skin. Let it remind you that you do not have to carry your ache by yourself. You do not have to pretend your heart is never lonely. You do not have to hide the places that feel empty. God already sees them, and He is not afraid of them. He does not step back from your loneliness. He steps into it. He transforms it from a place of sorrow into a place where His presence becomes more real, more precious, more healing than you ever imagined. And if your heart is tired tonight, if your mind feels worn, if the past has left tender bruises that still ache in the quiet, know that God is holding you with a patience that does not rush your healing. He knows what you've carried. He knows how long you've carried it. And He is not asking you to be stronger. He is simply asking you to rest in His strength, to lean into His comfort, to let Him be the one who fills the spaces that no human companionship ever fully could. Feel His nearness now, like a soft hand resting over your heart. Feel Him gathering every scattered piece of you with gentle care. Feel Him whispering peace into the very center of your being. The kind of peace that does not depend on circumstances, the kind of peace that does not shift with emotion, the kind of peace that stays because He stays, and He will stay, all through the night, all through your life, all through every moment you face. Loneliness cannot survive where perfect love dwells, and His perfect love surrounds you now, deeper and wider than you can see, stronger than any ache, quieter than any fear. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never will be. So let your spirit settle. Let your breathing soften. Let your thoughts drift gently like leaves carried by a calm stream. You are safe. You are held. You are deeply, endlessly loved by the God who walks with you, the God who stays with you, the God who calls you His own. Rest now in His presence. Rest in His peace. Rest in the beautiful truth that the cure for loneliness has been beside you all along, and He is here still, watching over you, comforting you, loving you with a tenderness that will never fade.
And as you drift even deeper into this quiet sanctuary of night, let your heart feel the steady way God continues to stay beside you, like a gentle presence who refuses to let you face the darkness alone, like a warm light that does not flicker, even when everything around you grows still. For His companionship is not something fragile or uncertain. It is strong enough to hold you through every silent hour, soft enough to soothe every weary breath, and constant enough to remain even when your own feelings shift like wind. He is here,
quietly, faithfully, lovingly. And in this soft stillness, his nearness begins to feel like a shelter around your soul, a place where burdens grow lighter, where fears settle into calm, where loneliness slowly unravels into peace. Perhaps you have known the kind of loneliness that settles deep, the kind that lingers even when others are near, the kind that whispers to you in moments when the world expects you to smile. Or perhaps your loneliness comes from a change in your life, someone you miss, something you lost, a season you never expected to walk through. Whatever form it has taken, God has never once looked away from your ache. He has followed you into every quiet room. He has sat with you through every unspoken sorrow. He has listened to every hidden thought you weren't sure you could voice. And now, in the tender quiet of this night, He wants you to feel the truth your heart has longed for, that you are not unseen, you are not forgotten, you are not walking through life without a companion. Imagine His presence now, gentle as a soft hand resting against your shoulder. Imagine His voice, warm and low, speaking into all the places that ache the most. My beloved, you do not have to hold this alone. I am here with you. I have always been here, even when you did not feel me, even when the night felt heavy, even when your heart felt far away from everyone else. I stayed close. I am close even now. Let those words linger inside you like a warm glow that refuses to disappear. Let them soften your spirit, loosening the weight that has settled in your chest. Let them remind you that loneliness is not your final state, for the one who made you delights to walk beside you. Sometimes loneliness tells us that connection is out of reach, that comfort is far away, that we must endure the emptiness quietly, bravely, silently. But God steps into those lies with a truth that is gentle and healing. He does not ask you to fight alone. He does not ask you to pretend. He simply asks you to rest in His presence, to lean into His love, to let Him be the one who fills the spaces no human companionship ever could. For His love is wide enough to cover every ache. His presence is deep enough to steady every fear. His compassion is tender enough to hold every lonely moment with absolute understanding. And as your body settles further into the stillness, feel how God begins to cradle every fragment of your day, every task you carried, every concern you tucked into your heart, every memory that rose up uninvited. He gathers them gently, as though collecting fragile petals, and holds them with the tenderness of someone who cherishes every part of your life. He does not rush you from your thoughts. He does not push you away from your feelings. He sits with you patiently until peace begins to seep into the spaces that were once heavy. Feel the way His love moves through you like a soft current, calming your breath. Feel the way His presence settles into your spirit, steady and warm. Feel the way loneliness begins to fade the longer you rest in Him. For loneliness cannot remain where love stays. And God's love is staying with you now, staying as long as you need, staying through the night, staying through your dreams, staying through every moment to come. If you listen closely, you may sense the gentle truth that God has been whispering into your life for so long. You are mine, you are cherished, you are held, and you have never walked a single step without me. Not one moment of your life has been without His eyes upon you, His heart toward you, His hand guiding you through unseen pathways. Your loneliness did not frighten Him, it drew Him nearer. Your tears did not push Him away, they pulled Him closer. Your longing for connection, deep, tender, quiet, has always been safe with Him. Let yourself sink deeper into His peace. Let your mind grow lighter. Let your heart soften beneath the weight of His love. For you are not drifting alone tonight. You are nestled in the embrace of a God who has chosen you, pursued you,
stayed with you, and will never let you face the night by yourself. Feel his presence like a warm blanket around your soul. Feel his breath in the gentle stillness. Feel his love in the soft quiet filling the room. And as sleep begins to draw nearer, let your spirit rest in this truth. You are deeply loved. You are completely seen. And you are never, ever alone.
And as the night grows softer still, let your spirit feel the quiet way God continues to hold you. Not with haste, not with pressure, but with a loving patience that wraps around you like a warm hush, calming every lingering ripple inside your heart. For his nearness is the kind that gently seeps into the soul, slow enough for you to breathe, tender enough for you to rest, steady enough for you to lean into without fear. He is not rushing you towards sleep. He is simply staying with you, the way only perfect love can stay. Close, quiet, unmovable. And the deeper you drift into this peaceful stillness, the more his presence feels like a soft shelter built just for you. A sanctuary where loneliness cannot cling, where fear cannot linger, where your heart can finally exhale. Perhaps tonight there are thoughts fluttering softly at the edges of your mind, remnants of old worries, memories that tug at your heart, questions that haven't yet found their answers. God is not intimidated by any of these. He gathers them gently, as though each one were a fragile feather resting in his hands. He holds them with understanding, not judgment. He quiets them with compassion, not force, for he knows the weight of what you've carried, even the things you never voiced aloud. And tonight, he wants you to feel how safe you are in his presence, how deeply he cares for every part of your story. Imagine him now, sitting beside you the way he sat with those who felt alone in Scripture, how he paused to speak with the woman at the well, seeing past her reputation to the loneliness hidden beneath, how he approached the man by the pool of Bethesda, 38 years unseen by the world, and asked him the most tender question, "Do you want to be made whole?" How he touched the outcast leper before healing him, restoring connection before restoring the body, how he dined with sinners who had long been pushed aside, reminding them that his presence was for the lonely, the lost, the overlooked. This Jesus, gentle, intentional, compassionate, sits beside you now, not in a distant way, but close enough for you to sense his nearness, close enough to steady your breath, close enough to soften the places inside you that once felt barren. And if your heart feels weary, if your spirit feels stretched thin, if your soul has been quietly longing for reassurance, hear him whisper softly into the deepest part of you, "Beloved, I am here. I am here in your tiredness. I am here in your questions. I am here in your loneliness. I am here in every breath you take. You do not walk this night alone. You do not face this life alone. I am with you, and I will not leave you." Let that truth rest inside you like a warm lantern glowing in the darkness, a light that doesn't demand anything from you, a light that stays even when you grow still, even when sleep draws near, even when your thoughts drift like quiet clouds. God's presence is not fragile. It is not conditional. It does not waver when your emotions shift. He stays for the long nights. He stays through the silent tears. He stays through the moments when you feel distant from everyone else. He stays when words are too heavy, too tangled, too difficult to speak. His companionship is unwavering. His nearness is unfailing. His love is constant, a steady flame burning gently at the center of your life. And as your breathing grows slower, deeper, more peaceful, feel how God's love begins to cradle every part of you that once felt unheld. Feel the way his presence smooths the wrinkles from your thoughts, easing them into calm. Feel the way loneliness loses its voice,
quieted by a love more intimate than anything the world can offer. For the cure for loneliness is not found in the number of people around you. It is found in the one who sits with you in silence, the one who knows every detail of your heart and still delights to stay, the one who loves you in ways too deep for language, too gentle for noise, too holy for any earthly comparison. Let your spirit lean into that love now. Let it sink into you like warm light settling over cool earth. Let it soothe the hidden corners of your heart that have longed for someone to simply remain. For God is remaining. He is here in this breath, here in this moment, here in the slow and tender rhythm of the night. You are not drifting alone. You are wrapped in the everlasting closeness of the one who has never left your side. So rest deeper now. Rest in the comfort of being known. Rest in the peace of being loved. Rest in the certainty that you are never, ever alone. For the God who watches over you now will stay beside you till morning, and long after morning, and long after every sunrise to come. He is your companion, your comfort, your shelter, your endless cure for loneliness. And he holds you now, gently and fully, as sleep draws near.
And as the night deepens around you like a soft, protective veil, let your spirit feel the steady, soothing way God remains beside you. Closer than breath, gentler than the quiet air resting against your skin. His nearness is not something you must reach for or work toward. It is already here, settling around you like warm light, like a comforting presence who refuses to let you face the darkness alone. He holds this moment with such tenderness, such patience, such unfailing love. And little by little, your heart begins to relax, to release, to rest. For in the presence of the one who never leaves, loneliness begins to unravel like a thread no longer needed, fading softly into peace. Perhaps you can feel your thoughts slowing, not stopping, just softening, drifting gently like clouds across a calm sky. Memories rise and fall, but they do not cling. Fears loosen their grip, unable to survive in the warmth of divine nearness. And the ache of loneliness, that quiet whisper that once lingered inside you, grows fainter as God fills its empty space with his own presence. For he has always been the cure. Not a quick fix, not a temporary comfort, but a deep, abiding presence that transforms solitude into sacred rest. He is here, watching over you with the same faithful love that guided you through every unseen moment of your life. Imagine him now, nearer still. Imagine his hand resting gently over your heart, calming each beat, soothing each breath. Imagine his eyes filled with compassion, kindness, and perfect understanding, looking upon you with a love that does not waver. He sees not only who you are now, but every moment that brought you here, every fear you've faced, every tear you've cried, every longing you've carried in silence. And he loves you through it all, completely, endlessly, without hesitation. There is no loneliness too deep for his presence to fill, no silence too heavy for his voice to comfort, no night too long for his light to reach. For he walks through the darkest valleys with you, never rushing ahead, never falling behind, always matching his steps with yours so that you never have to feel alone even for a moment. This is the God who stays, the God who keeps company with the weary, the God who gathers the lonely into his arms and whispers, "You are mine, and I am here." Perhaps you can recall moments when you felt unseen by others,
times when your soul longed for connection but could not find the words to express it. God remembers those moments too, not to reopen the ache, but to soothe it. He holds those memories not with judgment, but with tenderness. He traces them gently, healing what hurt you, comforting what frightened you, restoring what loneliness tried to take. For He is a God who mends the silent places, a God who makes homes out of empty rooms, a God who fills the quiet with a presence so profound that it becomes a resting place for the soul. Feel His presence now, as though it were a warm blanket wrapped around your heart. Feel how slowly, softly, your emotions begin to settle, how your body grows heavier with rest, how your mind becomes a little quieter with each passing moment. This is not emptiness, this is peace. This is God lovingly calming every storm inside you, even the storms you never spoke aloud. This is His promise taking shape in your spirit, that He will never leave you nor forsake you, that you are never abandoned, that you are deeply, eternally held. And as you breathe in this truth, imagine the night around you growing warmer, softer, holier, as though heaven itself bends low to surround you, as though angels stand watch at the edges of your rest, guarding your dreams with quiet reverence, as though God Himself is sitting near, His presence forming a sanctuary from which loneliness must flee. For where perfect love dwells, fear dissolves, and loneliness loses its voice. You do not need to strive to feel God. You do not need to perform to earn His nearness. You do not need to speak perfectly, pray perfectly, or understand everything that stirs inside you. You only need to rest, because God is already here. He has already drawn close. He has already encircled you with compassion deeper than oceans, wider than horizons, softer than moonlight on still waters. Let your breath slow a little more. Let your body sink further into comfort. Let your spirit lean softly into the warmth of His love. For you are safe tonight, completely safe. You are held without condition. You are seen without misunderstanding. You are loved without measure. And you are not, and will never be, alone. Sleep now in this truth. Sleep in this nearness. Sleep in the arms of the God who delights to stay close. Let His peace anchor you. Let His love cradle you. Let His presence be the gentle lullaby that carries you into deep, healing rest. For He is here. He has always been here. And He will not leave you. Not tonight. Not ever.
And as the night folds itself even more softly around you, let your heart feel the gentle steadiness of God's presence, the way it lingers like a quiet glow in the darkness, the way it wraps around you with a tenderness that asks nothing except that you simply rest. He is here, so close that His nearness feels like a warm hush settling over your spirit, calming every anxious thought, easing every quiet ache, soothing every place inside you that once felt untouched by comfort. There is no striving now, no need to search or reach or struggle, for the one who loves you has already drawn near, already filled the room with His peace, already placed His comforting presence around your soul like a soft embrace. Perhaps you can feel your thoughts drifting more slowly, like gentle ripples fading into still water. Perhaps you can feel a lightness beginning to settle where heaviness once lived. Perhaps you feel a warmth rising quietly inside your chest, not loud or sudden, but tender and steady, the warmth of being fully seen, fully known, fully held. For God is not a distant watcher in the sky. He is the one who bends near to the lonely, who sits beside the weary, who wraps His love around the tired heart until it finally finds rest. He knows the longings you've carried. He knows the prayers you've whispered in the dark.
He knows the weight of the silence you've held deep within, and His love meets each one with unwavering gentleness. Imagine now the soft rhythm of His presence moving through you like a slow, steady tide. With every breath you are being comforted. With every slow exhale, something heavy loosens its hold. With every quiet pause between thoughts, God fills the space with His peace. For loneliness cannot remain where His love settles. It dissolves little by little, replaced not by noise or distraction, but by the deep companionship of the one who never leaves. Maybe there have been moments in your life when you felt you had to hold everything together alone. Moments when you longed for someone to simply sit with you, to understand you without needing explanation, to stay near without expecting anything from you. God has always been that someone. He has always been the quiet presence beside you, even when you were unaware of Him. He has always been the companion who listened to the thoughts you could not voice. He has always been the one who stayed through every shadow, every silence, every unspoken ache. And now, as you breathe slowly in the stillness, feel how His love steadies you. Feel how gently He places rest where worry used to sit. Feel how softly He covers the lonely places with warmth, filling the empty spaces with His endless nearness. You do not have to understand everything for Him to comfort you. You do not have to be strong for Him to draw close. You do not have to speak for Him to hear your heart. He is here because He loves you, deeply, fully, endlessly. Let that love settle deeper now, drifting down into the quiet core of your being. Let it soothe the thoughts that once whispered doubts. Let it warm the memories that once carried sorrow. Let it hold the fragile places that once felt exposed. For God's love is not fragile. It does not break under the weight of your emotions. It does not retreat when your heart feels heavy. It does not dim when your spirit feels tired. It stays, unwavering, unchanging, unfailing. Feel the night around you soften even more, as though heaven itself is leaning close. Feel the air grow gentle, the darkness grow warm, the quiet grow sacred. For God is near, and where He is, peace breathes deeply. Where He is, loneliness fades into stillness. Where He is, the heart finds a place to rest. You are safe here, safe to release every lingering thought, safe to surrender the final layers of tension, safe to let your spirit drift towards sleep without fear, without worry, without feeling alone. For the God who created you, who cherishes you, who has walked beside you through every chapter of your life, holds you now with a love that will not loosen its embrace. Let your breathing grow slow and sweet. Let your heart rest in His nearness. Let the night cradle you gently as sleep begins to rise like a soft tide. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are held by the everlasting arms of the one who loves you most. And as you drift toward rest, know that He remains, watching over you, staying with you, loving you with a tenderness that has no end. And as the night settles even deeper around you, like a soft blanket drawn gently over the world, let your heart continue to feel the steady, peaceful nearness of God. That quiet presence that never rushes, never fades, never grows distant, but remains here with you, as close as your breath, as certain as your next heartbeat. He is the one who holds this moment for you, the one who wraps His love around you so gently that it feels like calm drifting through your very soul, the one who whispers peace into places that once trembled with loneliness. And little by little, His presence becomes the warm light inside the darkness, the quiet reassurance that you are not facing the night alone, not walking through the silence without a companion, not resting without the comfort of divine love surrounding you. Perhaps you sense how your thoughts are beginning to soften, how the edges of your mind feel smoother, quieter, more at ease. This is what His love does. It quiets the noise inside. It eases the heaviness. It turns loneliness into a tender space where God sits close, touching the fragile places with compassion that no human voice could ever fully imitate. Maybe today held moments that weighed on you, moments where you wished someone would notice, someone would understand, someone would simply be present. And even if others didn't see those moments, God did. He saw the strength it took for you to keep going. He saw the courage in your weary steps. He saw the longing behind your quiet thoughts. And now, in the softness of this night, He draws near, not to question you, not to demand anything of you, but simply to be with you, to soothe you, to hold you, to remind you that your heart is never alone in its tenderness. Imagine Him now, closer than ever. Imagine the gentle weight of His presence resting beside you, steady as a hand placed over yours, warm as breath against your cheek, peaceful as a whisper in the stillness. Imagine Him speaking softly into your spirit. My beloved, you are safe, you are seen, you are held, and you are not walking through this night alone. His voice is not loud, not forceful, just soft enough to be felt in the deepest parts of you where loneliness once echoed. And with each word He whispers, the emptiness loosens just a little more, replaced by a kind of comfort that sinks slowly, deeply, lovingly into your soul. Feel how your body begins to relax even further, your shoulders easing, your breath lengthening, your mind settling like a feather drifting onto soft ground. This is the healing of His presence. It does not demand you to be anything but exactly as you are. It does not ask you to hide your vulnerability. It does not require you to explain your emotions or tidy your thoughts. It simply holds you, patiently, tenderly, faithfully. Perhaps you have carried loneliness for a long time. Perhaps it has visited you in seasons when you felt surrounded by people and in seasons when the silence was all you had. Loneliness has a way of finding quiet corners inside us, of settling where we hoped it wouldn't. But even then, even in the moments when loneliness felt overwhelming, God was there, not absent, not distant, not unaware, but close, quietly weaving threads of comfort through the very places where you felt most alone. He has been your companion in ways you may not have realized until now. He has walked with you through nights when you wished for a voice beside you. He has stayed with you through mornings when your heart felt heavy before the day even began. He has stood beside you in situations where you needed strength you didn't think you had. And He is here still, holding you with the same unwavering nearness He has offered since the beginning. Let yourself lean into that truth. Let it wrap around you like warmth in the coolness of evening. Let it replace the ache with peace, the emptiness with presence, the longing with love. For the cure for loneliness is not the presence of many. It is the presence of one, the one who never leaves, the one who never changes, the one who whispers comfort into the quiet and turns solitude into sanctuary. Feel the night growing gentler around you. Feel the quiet turning softer. Feel your spirit sinking deeper into rest. There is nothing you need to hold right now, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to fear. You are surrounded by divine love. You are enveloped in perfect peace. You are watched over by the one who never sleeps.
And as you drift towards sleep, God stays close, so close that even the space between breaths feels holy, feels protected, feels filled with love. Rest now, beloved. Rest knowing you are not alone. Rest in the arms of the one who will never let you go. Rest in his tenderness, his warmth, his everlasting presence. For he is here, and he will remain here with you through the night, through your dreams, through every moment of your life, loving you with a love that never ends.
And as the night softens into an even deeper quiet, let your soul continue to feel the gentle weight of God's presence resting over you, like the calmest hush whispering through your spirit, like the soft glow of a lantern warming the deepest corners of your heart. He is here, fully, lovingly, completely, not in the distance, not beyond reach, but beside you, so close that his nearness feels like a steady breath surrounding your very being. And with each passing moment, his presence becomes the soothing rhythm beneath your thoughts, the quiet anchor beneath your emotions, the soft light guiding you into peaceful rest. Perhaps you feel your heart easing now, loosening its grip on the worries of the day. Perhaps you sense the gentle way God smooths the wrinkles from your thoughts, calming the places inside you that once felt tangled. Perhaps you feel a warmth blooming slowly in your chest, spreading like a tender glow that melts loneliness into something softer, kinder, almost holy. For this is what his nearness does. It turns isolation into intimacy. It turns emptiness into peace. It turns quiet longing into quiet belonging. And little by little, you begin to feel not the absence of company, but the fullness of divine companionship holding you close. Maybe there have been years when your heart carried a quiet ache, years when you felt unseen, even by people who cared, years when you longed for someone who understood the deepest parts of you, someone who could sit beside you without needing words, someone who would stay when the world grew heavy. God has always been that someone. He has walked with you through moments you thought no one noticed. He has whispered comfort into nights you thought no one understood. He has held you through storms you thought you faced alone. But you were never alone, not for a heartbeat, not for a breath. For the one who formed your soul has never once let you go. Imagine his presence now, wrapping around you like a soft cloak, warm and protective. Imagine the gentle calm of his spirit resting over your mind, making each thought feel lighter, each worry feel smaller, each quiet ache feel held. Imagine the way he looks at you, not with disappointment, not with demands, but with a tenderness so deep it reaches places inside you that no one else ever has. In his eyes, you are cherished. In his hands, you are safe. In his presence, you are never unseen, never forgotten, never abandoned. Feel how your body softens under that truth. Feel how your breathing becomes deeper, slower, sweeter. Feel how your spirit begins to float gently, like a leaf resting on calm water. God is here. He is not going anywhere. He is holding you in a love so steady that loneliness cannot cling to you the same way it once did. For the cure for loneliness is not a louder world or a busier life. It is this presence, this closeness, this holy companionship that sits with you in silence and fills it with peace. Perhaps memories rise within you, soft ones, heavy ones, quiet ones. Perhaps your heart recalls moments that shaped you, moments that bruised you, moments that left gentle scars. God sees every one of them with infinite compassion. He holds your memories like delicate petals, never crushing them, never rushing you to heal faster than you are ready.
He is the God who restores gently, the God who comforts slowly, the God who heals the lonely places with patience, kindness, and tenderness deeper than oceans. And as you rest now, feel the night settling more warmly around you. Feel the air grow softer. Feel your mind grow lighter. Feel your heart sink deeper into the comfort that surrounds you. There is no darkness here, only peace. There is no emptiness here, only presence. There is no loneliness here, only love. For God has filled the space around you with Himself. His nearness is the blanket over your soul. His love is the warmth rising gently within you. His peace is the soft pulse calming every part of your being. Let yourself drift into that peace. Let your spirit relax fully in the quiet glow of His presence. Let every remaining trace of loneliness melt away in the certainty that you are held gently, held deeply, held eternally, by the one who knows you, the one who sees you, the one who has always walked beside you even when you felt alone. Rest in this truth now. Rest knowing that God is watching over you. Rest knowing that you are safe in His arms. Rest knowing that He delights to stay near you. And as sleep begins to gather softly around your heart, know this: you are not alone. You have never been alone, and you will never be alone. For the God who loves you keeps watch over you now, quietly, tenderly, endlessly.
And as the night settles into an even softer hush, let your heart feel the continuing tenderness of God's presence. The way it lingers like warm breath over cool air, the way it wraps around you with gentleness that never wavers, never weakens, never pulls away. For He is here, closer than thought, nearer than emotion, surrounding you with a love so steady it quiets the spaces where loneliness once lived. And the longer you rest in this nearness, the more your spirit begins to soften, to loosen, to relax, until all that remains is the calm assurance that you are held fully, deeply, endlessly. Perhaps you can sense how your mind is growing lighter, how the edges of your thoughts seem to blur into a peaceful softness. It is God soothing you the way a loving father soothes a tired child, touching the weary places with compassion, smoothing the tangled corners of your heart with gentle care. He knows exactly what your soul needs. He knows how to comfort the hidden aches you've never spoken. He knows how to calm the quiet fears that rise in the stillness. And He does all of this with patience, not pressure, with tenderness, not demand, with love so intimate it reaches places where words could never go. Think of how Jesus sought out the lonely throughout His earthly life, how He walked toward the ones who felt cast aside, how He touched the ones no one else wanted to touch, how He listened to the ones the world ignored, how He spoke kindly to hearts wounded by silence and separation. He has not changed. That same Jesus, the comforter of the lonely, the healer of the broken, the companion of the forgotten, sits beside you now, offering the same tenderness He offered then. You are not a name in a crowd to Him. You are someone He loves with a depth too vast to measure. Feel now the way His presence settles around you like a warm covering. Feel the slow wave of calm moving gently through your chest. Feel your breath falling into a softer rhythm. This is how God heals, not always with sudden miracles or loud moments, but with quiet companionship that fills the empty places with warmth, fills the silent places with peace, fills the lonely places with His gentle nearness. Perhaps there have been nights when loneliness felt like a weight pressing against your ribs, nights when you wondered if anyone truly knew the inner movements of your heart, nights when you lay awake longing for comfort, for connection, for someone to simply be present. God remembers those nights. He was there in the quiet, listening, holding,
waiting for the moment your heart would sense him. And now, tonight, he is no longer hidden in the silence. He is revealing his nearness to you, letting you feel the warmth of his companionship, letting you rest in his unwavering presence. Let yourself imagine his hand resting softly over yours. Not heavy, not firm, just gentle enough to steady you, gentle enough to let you know you are not alone, gentle enough to melt the walls loneliness once built. He is not here to rush you, not here to change you, not here to demand strength from you. He is here simply to be with you, to sit in the quiet beside your heart, to stay with you through the soft unfolding of the night, to watch over you with love that does not sleep, love that does not fade. You may feel your spirit sinking even deeper into rest now, like a leaf drifting towards still water, like a feather settling onto open palms. This is the gift of his presence. It supports you without effort. It comforts you without noise. It lifts the weight without asking you to understand how. And as loneliness loosens its grip, peace takes its place, a peace so gentle you almost don't notice it arriving, a peace so steady it begins to feel like part of your very breath. Let him hold you now. Let him comfort the places that once felt fragile. Let him speak softly into the center of your being. You are mine. You are safe. You are loved more deeply than you can imagine. And I am with you in every moment, in every breath, in every quiet space of this night. His words settle through you like warm rain sinking into dry ground. They nourish what has long been thirsty. They soothe what has long ached. They bring life to the places silence once overshadowed. And as sleep begins to draw nearer, let yourself drift without resistance. Drift toward rest, toward calm, toward the soft embrace of God's nearness. You do not need to hold any worry tonight. You do not need to cling to any thought. You do not need to fear the quiet that surrounds you, for God is in this quiet. God is in this moment. God is in the slow, gentle rise and fall of your breath, watching, protecting, loving you with a tenderness that will not fade when your eyes close. Let your spirit rest. Let your body soften. Let your thoughts drift like gentle clouds. You are safe. You are loved. You are cherished. You are not alone.
And as the night deepens into its quietest hour, let your spirit feel the gentle way God still surrounds you, as though his presence has wrapped itself around your soul like a soft, warm cocoon, holding you in a safety deeper than anything this world could ever offer. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to prove, nothing you need to hold on your own. For he is here, steady and unchanging, watching over you with a love that never wavers, never hesitates, never grows dim. And the longer you rest in this nearness, the more your heart loosens, like petals opening slowly in the warmth of morning light, until peace becomes the quiet rhythm of your entire being. Perhaps your thoughts are beginning to drift now, slowing to a soft and gentle wander. Memories may rise like small ripples on still water, but they no longer disturb the calm. You may feel the last traces of tension leaving your body, slipping away into the night as God holds you in his steady embrace. And through it all, his presence remains like a constant glow, illuminating the places that once felt lonely, turning them into a sanctuary, a resting place, a home for your heart. There is a sweetness in this moment, a sweetness that comes from knowing you are fully seen, fully understood, fully loved. A sweetness that flows from the quiet certainty that God is not observing you from afar. He is beside you, closer than your breath, whispering comfort into the very center of your soul. You can almost feel the tenderness of his gaze resting upon you, the way a loving parent watches over a sleeping child.
There is no judgment in his eyes, only compassion, only affection, only deep, abiding love. If you listen softly, with the ears of your heart, you may sense the quiet words he speaks over you now. I am here. I have always been here. I am not leaving. Not now. Not ever. You are safe in me, beloved. You are treasured. You are mine. Each word flows through you like warm water, soothing the bruised places, washing away the remnants of loneliness that once clung to your spirit. For loneliness cannot stand in the presence of perfect love. And you are wrapped in perfect love now, completely and tenderly. Perhaps you have carried questions about your worth, about your place in the world, about whether your heart matters in the vast expanse of life. God answers those questions now without you even needing to speak them. Yes, you matter. Yes, you are cherished. Yes, your heart is precious to me. His love is not a general love, not a distant affection meant for the world at large. It is a personal love, an intimate love, a love that sees every detail of who you are and delights in you. You were never meant to walk through life without someone who understands you fully. And God himself has chosen to be that someone, the one who stays close when all else feels far away. Feel now how the quiet grows warmer around you, as though the very air has softened, as though the darkness has become gentle, as though the night itself is bowing to make room for the peace settling over your spirit. You are not drifting alone in this silence. God is holding this silence with you, filling it with his calm, his warmth, his steady presence, turning it from emptiness into something sacred and sweet. Let your breathing fall into a slow and effortless rhythm. Let your shoulders loosen fully. Let your body grow heavier with rest. For you are safe in the arms of the one who never sleeps, the one who watches over you with endless love, the one who guards your rest with tenderness beyond anything you have ever known. You do not need to grip the day anymore. You do not need to hold your worries. You do not need to feel responsible for holding yourself together in this moment. God is holding you completely, gently, faithfully, and he will not let you slip from his embrace. Feel the peace now, deeper than before. Feel the warmth spreading slowly through your chest. Feel the quiet softening your mind like a gentle hand smoothing your thoughts. This is the nearness of the one who loves you. This is the cure for every ache inside you. This is the companionship your soul has always longed for. Let yourself drift towards sleep without resistance. Let the night cradle you. Let God's presence be the soft pillow beneath your heart. Let his love be the warm blanket over your spirit. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not unheld. The God who loves you is here, and he will remain here, through every breath, through every dream, through every moment of the night, watching over you with kindness that does not end, holding you with a tenderness that does not fade, loving you with a love that will stay with you always. And as the night deepens into its gentlest quiet, let your soul rest in the tender certainty that God has not moved even an inch from your side. His presence remains like a soft glow in the darkness, a warm breath against the cool silence, a steady shelter spread over your heart like wings of light. He is here, not in passing, not in brief comfort, but in a way that stays, in a way that holds, in a way that keeps your spirit from ever being truly alone. And the longer you rest inside his nearness, the more your heart begins to release the final threads of tension, the last whispers of worry, the small tremors of loneliness
that once curled quietly inside you. Perhaps you feel your thoughts drifting like slow-moving clouds across a peaceful sky. Perhaps you sense the quiet settling deeper into your bones, filling you with a warmth that has nothing to do with blankets or rooms, but everything to do with the holy presence that surrounds you. This is the companionship of God, a companionship that does not require words, does not demand explanation, does not need you to be anything other than exactly who you are in this moment, tired, tender, open, soft, and completely, beautifully held. Think of how gently he looks at you now, his eyes full of understanding, his heart full of compassion, his presence full of a love so patient it could quiet any storm. He knows the patterns of your thoughts. He knows the weight that sometimes settles in your chest. He knows the longings that rise inside you in the quiet hours. And he meets each one with tenderness, not rushing, not correcting, not pushing away, but embracing, comforting, healing. Perhaps your soul remembers nights when the silence felt overwhelming, when your mind wandered into places that made you feel small or forgotten, when your heart searched inwardly for reassurance but found only echoes. Tonight is different. Tonight the silence is not empty. Tonight the quiet is filled with God Himself. Tonight the spaces that once felt hollow are overflowing with His steady love, His soft presence, His gentle companionship. Imagine Him drawing closer now, the way a loving father sits beside a child who is finally drifting towards sleep. He tucks peace around your spirit like a blanket. He places rest over your heartbeat like a warm hand. He breathes stillness into the last corners of your mind. And in the soft hush between thoughts, He whispers again, "I am here. I have always been here. You do not walk alone, beloved, not in this night, not in any night." There is something sacred in this moment, something holy in the way the room grows warm with His nearness, something healing in the way your heart softens under the weight of His love. For loneliness cannot survive where God rests His presence. Fear cannot speak where His peace settles. Weariness cannot hold on where His tenderness wraps gently around the soul. Feel His presence now like a slow wave of warmth moving through your body, from your shoulders down through your arms, from your chest into your belly, from your legs down to your feet. Every part of you relaxing, softening, easing into rest. You are safe here. You are sheltered here. You are loved beyond measure here. Perhaps you realize, even in this quiet unfolding, that God has been holding you all along. In the moments when tears blurred your sight, in the hours when silence felt heavy, in the seasons when loneliness curled itself around your heart. He was there, patient and present, waiting for your spirit to feel what He had never stopped giving. His company, His closeness, His endless tenderness. And now, as sleep draws nearer, you can release even more deeply into His care. Let your thoughts drift without direction. Let your body rest without effort. Let your heart fall gently into the arms of the One who has already gathered you in. You do not need to guard yourself. You do not need to stay alert. You do not need to hold anything together, for God is the one holding you, and He will not let you go. Feel the night dim into softness. Feel your spirit floating on the calm He has placed within you. Feel your soul resting like a quiet feather in the palm of His eternal hand. You are not disappearing into darkness. You are being carried into peace, carried into warmth, carried into the deepest truth of all, that you are loved beyond imagining, that you are never alone, that you belong to Him,
and He is here, staying with you through every breath. So rest now. Rest in His nearness. Rest in His tenderness. Rest in the sweet shelter of His everlasting love. Sleep with the assurance that the God who cherishes you is watching over you, softly, quietly, faithfully, and He will remain with you until morning light touches the sky, and long after that, and forever still.